Hi, I'm singer-songwriter Viv May and I'm here at BPM 2013. I'm with the Point Blank Learning Zone powered by Ableton, and we've got a couple of great sessions throughout the day. There'll be some live performances with myself and Paul Crossman. We're going to do an on-the-fly collaboration. We also have Ben Bristow who's going to give us some tips and tricks for DJing. We have Ableton's Jessie actually showing us how to use the new Push, and we're going to have some deconstructions later on. So sit back and enjoy.
So Paul, we've been at BPM for 2 days now. Can you give us a little bit more insight as to what you got up to yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially what we were doing was Vivian May, as a singer, came in and we had a track and went through the whole process of recording a vocal using Ableton and the UA Apollo interface. So that started off with a track that was written for a Friday Forum Live. And the idea really was something that we'd been working on, which was how to break it down into the various sections. So there was a main vocal idea, some lyrics and some ideas that Viv had been working on.
The serpent with a smile. I had sort of an idea of the track. Most of it was on the fly, but I tend to find that you get a bit of magic when you do it like that. So we just kind of vibed off each other and then came up with some random ad-libs and things on the day.
We started off with the main vocal, a double tracking of the vocal, the chorus, the double tracking, the backing vocals, the harmonies. And then from there, it was about how you put the whole thing together. So looking really at the different stages of vocal production.
It's not the most ideal recording conditions, is it?
It was a bit of a challenge. There was a lot of noise going on, but we made it work. So I'm really happy with how it turned out.
And today you deconstructed a few tracks for us.
Yeah, today was all about deconstructing chart dance tracks, really. One of them was my choice, which was the Chase and Status track. Now the reason I chose that essentially was for nostalgia, really. I mean, it's got that 20-year-old rave sound. They've done it really, really, really well, and it's an absolute masterclass in how you can take a track very, very simple and turn it into an absolute smash of a record. So the idea with it was to listen through, making use of critical analysis and critical listening to break down the individual sounds within the track, and from there, very much able then to rebuild it using various different techniques and instruments within Ableton itself. Some instruments have become iconic in their sound. The Korg M1 piano, for example, is the piano sound that's a constant over the last 20 years. So I wanted to show how you could do it in Ableton using their piano, but then actually the difference it makes using the right instrument. And then from there, it was about creating the stabs and the euphoric sounds, the risers and all the extra bits, and then putting the whole thing together. Very, very short filter envelope, giving you that kind of a quite nice stabby sound. Using a ping pong delay to kind of just bring in the rhythm a little bit more around it, all right? So when I bring these two things in together, getting that nice little knocky bit coming in from the analog, and then you've got the piano in over the top. The second deconstruction was one that was chosen by Point Blank online through the blog, and also Ableton. So there was a choice of 3 tracks, and the choice made was Rudimental, again looking at drum and bass. Big sub bass, 808 style, lots of pitch M5 on it, giving it the punch. That kind of bit that you want to let it cut through. Bit of the amen break. Pleasure really to be able to sort of take it and show people this is the Reese bass, you know, taking 2 sawtooth oscillators, detuning them to fatten them up, making use of distortions and plugins like the Camel Fat to give it that drum and bass sound. You know, I was explaining how there are certain sounds in a genre which are as, you know, like the Les Paul and the Marshall Stack. If that's the guitar sound you want, there's no other way to do it than to get what you need. And I think that it's the same with, say, drum and bass bass lines. Camel Fat's used a hell of a lot on it, knowing where to start with, so sort of giving people an idea of where they could start with that.
Did you go about with them using a lot of stuff within Ableton, or were you using a lot of third-party plugins?
No, I tried to keep the third-party stuff to an absolute minimum. The restriction actually kind of brings out a creativity, rather than using a million plugins, you know what I mean? And we all do it. So yeah, doing it with Ableton, it was a bit of a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge and I think it came out all right.
And there's a lot of interest from people watching around, and I saw a few people who came up and had to sit down with you afterwards. What kind of stuff did you go through with them?
Well, I mean, essentially with the Rudimental track, it was about bass lines. How do you get your bass line to fit with your drums? How do you get that kind of aggression out of a bass line? The problem with it is when you start to use distortion, there tends to be a high frequency roll off, which makes it warm and fuzzy. The idea is trying to keep the top end back into the sound, which then is going to give you the cut through and give you the aggression, or help with the aggression. So we talked a lot about that.
I'm here with Point Blank DJ and tutor, Ben Bristow. How did the sessions go for you?
Brilliant, yeah, we've had lots of interest in the courses, lots of different levels of ability, as always there is at these things. Lots of people have been trying out the equipment and asking questions, so it's been good, yeah.
Okay, so we can look forward to some up-and-coming DJs then, who's going to have that Ben Bristow flair about their work.
Not sure if they'll have quite my flair, but I just had a guy today actually who was a drummer who'd never tried scratching before, just started basically playing around with the deck and was instantly quite good at it, so you can always see kind of potential in people, yeah. You've been demonstrating Push. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Push is basically an extension of Live 9, and it's allowing you to get in touch with your creativity in terms of just focusing on the hardware as an instrument and creating tracks from scratch and on the fly.
Is there any new features coming that we should get excited about?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of new things coming. You know, Push is in its beginning phases. 9.1 is going to be released soon. There are a lot of features in Live 9 that are going to be out, and of course there's going to be some interesting things for Push as well.
Well, for me, it was all about persistence, dedication, you know, so if you're really sort of like into your music and dedicated, just like stick with it. Don't listen to what others say, like, get a proper job and all that, just stick with it. If you're really motivated to like be in the music game, just stick with it.
I got my foot in the door in DJ battles through entering a mixtape competition, and by coincidence the judges were there, and they kind of took note, and then when it came to the battle, they were kind of like, well, watch out for him. So you can never predict where different opportunities are going to end up, and making good contacts in the industry, because they could blossom into entirely unexpected directions. Yeah. So that's rule number one. Be friendly and take every opportunity that presents itself.
Cliche time, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You're not going to get it all instantly. You're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Sometimes what comes out of those mistakes is a really good thing.
You'll get hundreds of knockbacks, and every time you get a little victory, hold on to it, because that's what will get you through the inevitable hard plight that is the music industry.
I mean, the internet for us was a massive tool. We used YouTube, we used UKF dubstep. Basically every tool that you can on the internet is the best thing you can ever have.
You need to absorb knowledge, voraciously. You need to feed on it, get information from wherever you can. You know what I mean? And we're here to help as much as anything, but also just, you've got to be curious. You've got to have that want to know how things work.
We've now come to the end of BPM 2013. It's been an amazing 3 days. Make sure you stay tuned to our blog, Facebook, and our YouTube for some more great content. See you soon.
At Point Blank Online, you've got two methods of interaction with your tutor. Firstly, you've got the weekly online masterclass, which is in real time. And then also we've got feedback on your assignments, and that's known as DVR. So the online masterclass is a 1-hour session you get with your tutor every week. You can ask questions about the lesson content and get instant feedback, and also demonstrations on the fly from their computer desktop with our streaming technology. DVR stands for Direct Video Response, and the concept is really simple. You upload your Ableton Logic or Cubase project file to your tutor, he downloads it and then pushes record on the screen capturing software and evaluates your work, so basically giving you one-to-one feedback. You see all of the mouse movements and any parameter changes made by your tutor. It's kind of like sitting in the studio over their shoulder watching what they're doing whilst they work. We have found the DVR process has truly revolutionized the way that we teach online, and the results speak for themselves. Book your place on a course now by visiting pointblankonline.net.